Welcome everyone. I'm glad to see returning folks and new folks at my channel. I'm back here with another Jellyfin tutorial, another open source tutorial for you guys. This one's going to be a little more complicated. I got a request from one of our users on our Discord to update our JFA-Go tutorial and make sure that it's set up for reverse proxy. So basically what I'm going to show you in this tutorial is how to set up JFA-Go, what everything kind of does, and some cool features of it, along with reverse proxying it on Jellyfin. So first thing we're going to need to do is get JFA-Go, and I'm going to explain what it is really quick in the start. JFA-Go is an awesome tool that allows you to reset your Jellyfin username and password outside your network. So basically, normally the only way to reset a username and password is to do it through Jellyfin locally. So let's say I load up my Jellyfin. So let me go to my Jellyfin install. And I'm going to use port. There we go. If I log in, you'll see if I want to actually I want to be logged out. Hold on. Sign out. Alright. If I want to forget my password, click forget password. And I type in my username. We'll just do one of my devices. And you'll see you'll get a pin. It'll be sent to this location. This is great if you're locally, but if you want to do it outside your network, let's say you have family members outside of your state or outside of your personal ISP or internet, then this will be kind of hard for them to reset the password on their own. They'll have to ask you, and you have to do it every time. Or let's say you forget your admin password. This is a great way to reset it. So this is kind of like foolproofing and setting you up for success if you share it outside your network on a reverse proxy. So what JFA-Go is going to do is it's going to let us do that. It's going to let us reset our password through Jellyfin using the app. And it not only does that, but it does a lot more cool things, which I'll get to while we're doing it. But let's get started. First, we're going to go into JFA-Go.com. And all these links will be in the description. I might have a written tutorial as well with this after on my Demon Warrior docs. So look for that in the description. But we're going to first go into our here, and we're going to click on Stable-ish and go to Windows. Should bring us to the Release tab of the GitHub. We scroll all the way down until we see these releases. I'm currently on Windows, so I'm going to do Windows tray icon, and we're going to do 6486. This one right here. And we'll click download. And I've already downloaded mine, so I don't really need to worry about it. Next, we can do is open this up, and we're going to copy this. So either right click and click copy or Control C. And we're going to go into where my tools drive is. So I go to tools. Make a new folder. So mine's in C tools, and I have all my open source tools in here that I do videos on and use. Name the folder JFA-Go. You can name it anything you want. This is in particular, just make sure you remember what it's called. So when we paste it in here, we can run it. Alright, now that it's pasted in there, we will run the executable. And if we check now down here in our show hidden icons, we'll see we have a JFA-Go. So I'll pull it over here. We'll see we have it right here and it's running. So we'll click and it's running on login. So to find out our address, we just... Okay, so just note before we start this that if you do have a current install, you've ever installed this in the past, if you go on your user, user administrator, app data, and roaming, you'll see JFA-Go will be in here if you have already run it. And you'll have a setup. Just note that this could corrupt itself over time, or if you change your IP or something, it could cause configuration issues. So if I'm starting fresh, I just made a backup of it right here in my JFA-Go backup, and I started to run it again. Upon first run, as you see, I'll run it right now. I should quit that out. All right, so upon first run, it should pop up with like an allow feature. Just click allow. Now if I go to localhost or 127.0.0.1:8056, you'll see welcome to JFA-Go. So we have now, it's now running, like I said, in the bottom tray right here. We're going to click start. And we're going to start by just selecting all these, whatever your default language is, account creation language, default email language, which mine's all English. Listening address, we're going to set it as the local host, or you can set it as your local IP. I'm going to set mine as my local IP because I have a couple things running inside the services. So this is my local IP. And recommended if you aren't using a reverse proxy, we don't need that. So you can leave this alone. This is only if you're looking to use HTTPS without a reverse proxy, but we are in this case going to use a reverse proxy. You can change the port here, but I'm going to keep it stock as 8056. The URL base, this is only needed for using a reverse proxy, which we are, so I'm going to put mine in here. So we're going to do our domain, which mine is going to be account dot my domain, and we're going to keep the theme as dark. That's fine. JFA-Go will make all connections through HTTP SOCKS 5 proxy. This is only if you're using it, through a VPN, which we're not. We're going to click on stable. We don't want to leave that. All right. Click next. Access the admin page, you need to log in with this method below. We're going to leave it just as admin. You don't want to allow it to all. If you allow it to all Jellyfin users, that means they can log in and view and change things. You don't want that for the long term because then they'll have access to this. So we'll click next. We're doing Jellyfin because this also works for Emby. We're using it for Jellyfin. So you might get stuck here. That's fine. We're going to set up now our A records and our C names for Cloudflare. So to do that, you want to go to cloudflare.com, log in. We're going to make a C name. Mine's going to be account, and then an @ disable the proxy status. The @ basically lets us use the stock domain. This part movies for you. And as you see, we use account for the domain name. Save. All right, now that that's there, we should be able to now. Oh wait, we set that. Yeah, we set it as a C name, I think. Hold on, it should be somewhere here. Yeah, here's the C name for account. So again, this is set now. Now we can go into a reverse proxy, and I'll have all this documented on my website, my docs website. So when we're setting up our Caddyfile, going into two main things. If we're using DuckDNS or Jellyfin, doesn't matter, or a custom domain. We can do this multiple different ways. So we can set up DuckDNS or Caddy, which I will have my docs right here at docs.demonwarriortech.com. I'll have it updated with a DuckDNS for JFA-Go and a Cloudflare example. But essentially, when we set this up from the user that sent me this, we're going to have our domain up here for our Jellyfin, and we're going to add technically 2 lines to it. So we're going to add the reverse proxy, header up forwarder, and then this ending quote. And we add another line, which is the reverse proxy, forgot pin, and other quote here. This will go only in the Jellyfin line, okay, just so you know. Then we're going to keep, this should be the same, so it should be the reverse proxy and your IP and your DuckDNS and if you, or your Cloudflare DNS API key. So essentially we're only adding these 2 lines to it, and I'll give examples very detailed on my doc site, but basically we're just gonna add this. We'll put on, I might add a separate tab actually for JFA-Go, just so you know what to edit your Jellyfin with. But essentially editing it to allow these 2 lines is going to let us be able to forward those pins and those forgot passwords for those accounts from our Jellyfin to our JFA-Go. So once we've done that, essentially we're going to set it up so it should look something like, so essentially it's going to look like this. We're going to have our jellyfin.demonwarriortech.com or whatever your domain is. We're going to have this reverse proxy line, and we're going to have our local host. So mine currently is 192.168.0.111, colon my the port of my Jellyfin, which is 8096. If you don't know this, you can always find it by going into a PowerShell or CMD and type in ipconfig. This will give you, if you scroll up, you should see your local port right here. It'll say under Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and it'll show 192 or 10.0.0 or one of those. This is mine though, I know that for a fact. One way you can also check it is going into Jellyfin and typing in your IP that shows there to double check it's correct. And type in 8096 and you'll see it loads my Jellyfin, so we know that's correct. So once we have our examples done and we have that set up, we can type in for our server address, we type http://192.168.0.111 /8096, since you know that's the internal address is going to be our Jellyfin address that's trying to connect this username to. Our server address is going to be our reverse proxy. This is going to be, hold on. This is going to be our reverse proxy for Jellyfin. So we're going to name this mine, which is, I'm going to blur out the domain, but this will be the same as using the address from here. So example, jellyfin.demonwarriortech.com. Use that same one here. We'll test the connection and see it's a success. We have our right username and password. So next, we can click next. And the way you know this is the correct page for our Jellyfin is to check out the Jellyfin MB section. This is where we connect our account. We don't have UMB, so we can disable that. We don't need to worry about that. User page. So this is going to allow us to basically set, edit, add users. It's pretty cool. I think it's cool, so I'm going to enable it. I'll show you what it is later in a little bit. I'm on a 12-hour time zone, so I'll keep that. Emails, we'll do SMTP. So this is if you want to do resets through an email, which I'm going to use. You can use Mailgun. I prefer just using a Hotmail account. So I'm going to get that info right now. So we're going to set it as SMT. And we'll use, let me get my email set up. Hold on. Okay, so once you've logged into your Hotmail or Gmail, now just note, Gmail for this really doesn't work well. Gmail has been a known issue with JFA-Go. So I always like to use Hotmail, so I made a quick Hotmail. If I click on here, and I go into, I'm going to have this blurred out by the way. We're going to set it, the gear setting icon, sorry. And you type in SMTP, you'll see pop IMAP pull up. So we'll click on that. And hold on 1 second. Okay, so once you have this loaded, again, I'm going to block this out, but you click on pop IMAP or forwarding an IMAP. If you click on view pop IMAP SMTP settings, it'll pull you to this web page. So if you click down here, you'll see under pop IMAP SMTP, we're looking for our SMTP. So this is the first one is going to be SMTP. So we're going to borrow this IMAP server address. Actually, we'll use, I'm sorry, this SMTP server address. We're going to copy this link. And I'll list this link in the description too. I'll write it down so you guys have it. But essentially, we're going to go into our here. We're going to add the SMTP server address right here. We're going to add the port, which is 587. And we're going to set our email address as my email address. Again, I'm going to have this blocked out, but you'll just put your email address you have for Hotmail. Okay. And sender's name we'll just make, I just make this my domain. So movies for you. You can also do like admin. Movies for you. It's up to you. I just keep it stock so they know. And our username and our password. So this is going to be our login for our email. So we're going to use our email. So I'm going to use this. Again, this is going to be blocked out, but you'll know what I mean when I do it. And type in our password. So I'm going to copy that real quick. Hold on. Okay, so once we have that set up, now we click on next. And our admin notification. So this is enabled if you choose like per invite to receive a message when an invite expires or a user is created. If you didn't choose Jellyfin login message, make sure you provide an email or another address. We can enable this. You don't have to. Welcome message is fine. We just use the default stock. This is when they first log in. They'll see welcome. Let me see, what does it say? Welcome to Jellyfin. This will be in the email. So when they send the email subject will be welcome to Jellyfin, and to have them set up their password and login details if you want to send them that. Invite message, so we'll just type in our URL. So mine is this. And invite, we'll just say to our domain. Again, you don't have to set this up. This is all about customization. I do it because it's just better long-lasting effect, I guess. So here's the important part. So when a user tries to reset their password, Jellyfin creates a file named passwordreset.json, which contains their PIN. JFA-Go reads. So basically, this is where it's going to read the file from. So we're going to take that from our Windows directory. So it's going to be, if you're on Windows, this will apply. If you're on Linux, it may be a different. But ours is going to be into, if you're on the latest Jellyfin, it will be into, it's program data. Let me just double check. Jellyfin server. No. Yeah. So if you're on the latest Jellyfin 10.9 or whatever it is currently in this 10.9x, yours is going to be in program data, Jellyfin server, and see password reset. Now, if you want to see if it's working, all you do is type in your Jellyfin on local domain. So again, I'm going to go to mine. And if you click on forgot password down here on your login page, and you type in your user, it can be any user that's associated with the website, and it'll send it. It'll tell you where your PIN goes to. As you see, mine's going to Jellyfin server, password reset, yada yada yada. So that's one way to send it. And if you see, I look in here, another one popped up because I reset the password again. So we'll just copy this path and go back to here and paste this path in here. And we can send a link instead of a PIN. If Omni integration is enabled to sync Jellyfin resets with Omni required self-service password reset, you can set password through a link. So meaning when you set this, you don't have to change the password from the PIN after the reset. So it's kind of cool. So you can set a password for them originally. This is the email that they will receive. So password, double check password, reset, request. We'll say my domain, movies for you. Okay, let's just make sure that's, yep. And we'll click next. Next, you can set the password length. So I don't like to have this many, but you can set them however you choose. Do like 4, I guess, just because it's easy. So you can set the password validation to whatever you want. I'm gonna set mine to 4. Contact message. So this is like if they need to reach out to you. This is only done if you're like really sharing with family. You want them to just click on something to send it to you. So we'll just keep the all stock default. So contact. You can put your name. I'm just gonna put movies for you, admin. And this one, enter details to create an account. So enter your details to create an account. All right, and then success message. Your account has click below to access Jellyfin. I'll just put my actual domain. And then we'll need help. So this is our need help. Contact movies for you, admin. All right, and then we'll click next. All right, once that's done, we can click submit. And now if we refresh the page, it may load. We'll see. Might take a minute to reload. Ooh, we may have messed that up. Double check. Ooh, we did a subdomain. Okay. So if this happens and you have a subdomain made, I did not mean to do this, but let's try to see if it'll load through our reverse proxy. And it does. So that works. We have to change our config. So once we load it through our reverse proxy, we can log in through our admin user. So I'm going to log in through mine. Okay. Save. I'm going to go into my account. Actually, I want to do that. Hold on. I going to change it up a bit. We're going to go into settings, and you can change all your settings in the config. If you ever lose access to this domain as well, there's also your config is also set in here. So if you go into your C drive, C drive, users, your admin user, or the user you're on that you installed it on, app data, roaming, and you go to JFA-Go, you'll see a config.ne. All those settings we just set can be changed in here. So for example, if I want to change, so for example, if you just messed up and did the account .movies for you for the invite for the base URL, then you can remove that. It's pretty cool. Let me just make sure it's the correct one to remove. Or you can do it in the admin UI. So if we go back and close out of that, and we go to the admin UI. So if we go to the admin UI, you can see under advanced settings, it'll show some more stuff. If we go to Jellyfin, we can see that our public address, our domain, all that stuff is in here. See if we can find the subdomain. Maybe? Debugging. Password reset, maybe? So next thing we're going to want to add to ours, you can add like a Captcha if you want to prevent people from like spamming your server. One way to do that is to go under, let's see, where's the Captcha? Confirmation. Welcome message. Password reset. We're going to set this because this needs to be set. Whenever you're ready to save something, you just click on, I think it's just save. There should be a save button somewhere. Or was this? Oh, maybe it's just restart. Click on that. So make sure you set this URL base under password resets, and you set it under this under your URL base. Make sure you set that domain in there because that's going to be important if you want to reset from your account. Going to restart and save. And next, we want to go into here we go. So under Captcha right here, you can set it to use a Captcha, use a Google Captcha, and then we can just put our Google Captcha site key in. So if you want to use like a Google Captcha so they don't spam the accounts page, that's a really cool thing you could do. I won't show that in this tutorial, but I'm pretty sure they have a good tutorial on here for it on the docs. Let me just double check. Search for it. Captcha. Here we go. Here are the docs for that. They're pretty well described in here. You can do all this on your own. It's not too hard to figure out. But once we have that, we're going to go into our. So one thing that I like about this that I've seen people do is like if I have all these users here, right? I can actually make them all look the same. So let's say like I have my Jellyfin. And let me log in. Okay. And let's say this is how I want the front page to look, right? Where I have my TV shows, movies, all in that order, all these things in this order, just like how it is. I can do that by going to admin and selecting, let's say, my user, and I want to click on, not that actually, one. Let's select, let's see. So I made a user called demo user, right? So I can do that. So in Jellyfin, we're gonna make a demo user. Let's do that. So let's Go to dashboard, and we'll go to users, and we're going to click on demo user. And see, I made a demo user. If you want to use another one, make it, let me actually edit that one I have. Hold on. Edit user. And it's called demo-user. And we allow connection to the server, allow whatever directories you want it to have access to. Just make sure I access to all those. And let's say I have it look in like this. So let's say I want to copy that user's homepage. So all I have to do is select the users I want it to copy to, but I'm going to do these instead. And I'm going to select on this, modify settings, select on a user. I'm going to select the user as this, my admin user, so it looks just like my account right here. And we'll click on apply. Now let's say I log in. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. I just gave one admin user rights. So that's why we make a demo user. So one thing to note is if you're making a demo user, don't do like me and make them all admin. So make a demo user account, make it non-admin, add the home screen, set it up the way you want it, then click on demo user and apply home screen layout. And now you see that all the users will look like that. So now if I go into like one of the other accounts, so this is my demo user account. If I sign out, and let's say I go into let's try maybe log in. Hold on, I'm gonna log in this user. All right, so once I'm logged in this user, as you see now the home screen has the same layout as the other one that we had. So it's all exactly the same. As you see, I'm in that user account right now, Scott. And the really cool part is you can basically make a unilateral feature where it shows everything like you want it to be for every user. So that's a really cool thing. Another thing you can do in here is, let's say I want to reset a user, so they can actually do it themselves by going to, and you can send invites too. So let's say I want to invite someone. So I just do number of uses, one, meaning they can only use one. Profile, we can add a profile. So to do that, we just go into activity or accounts and we click on demo user and we click on enable referrals. Not that. Hold on. Let's try this. Okay, so if we go into our accounts or settings and we go into user profiles, we can click create. This will set like a base. So basically anyone that logs in will have a user profile like our demo user. So if I go to demo user, so demo user, and I log in, as you can see, these will be standard for all of them. So if I have certain directories I want to enable for certain users, we can set it as a standard. So if we just name it demo user and we set the user as the demo user store home screen layout, this will store all the settings for the demo user that we created. So now if we wanted to make an example account, for example, if I want to send it to like my personal email or another email, I can go into here and select the demo user profile and send the invite. Let's say I want to do invite duration. It says 30 minutes, and we'll send it to Demon. We'll send it to my personal email. Hold on. I'm gonna block this out so you guys can't see it, but we'll click create. And now, actually, I'll send it to movies for my other email because I'm already logged in there. As you see, every time I create one, I get an invite code, and I have 29 minutes not to accept it. So if I go into Hotmail now, back into Hotmail, as you see, I got the invite. So now if I want to create a user account, I just click on the invite, click on set up your account, and let's say I make an account, we'll make it like test. Set the email, password, let's say I want to make another password, same password, okay. We'll click on create account. This account has been created. So now if I go to continue, it should bring my domain. And now if I log in, so if I sign out of this and I sign into my test account, bam, logged in, and it's already preset with the home screen and everything. So no more manual creating of users. That's just one example. You can do a lot of things in this. So we're going to delete that, and we're going to go into settings, and we can do a lot more with this. So one thing we can do is we could set it so if we want to set like a Discord for sign up and invites, let's say I want to set up a Discord that requests unique user ID and sends invites through that, you can do that as well. And this is pretty standard. You're just going to use an API token. This is all gone in through the JFA-Go topics. You can check the GitHub wiki. So if I type in chatbots, this will tell you how the Discord kind of situation is and how to set that up. It's pretty simple. You can also use Telegram, Matrix. So all these are ways to set up a chatbot. I personally like the email because a lot of people that I use are older. They don't really use those newer technologies. But yeah, basically this is a really cool app and tool. And as you can see, I set my password. So if I go into here and log into my Jellyfin on my admin account, let's say I want to forget my password. Let's say I forgot my password. So sign all this. Let's try to reset our password now. So let me set an email in here. Hold on. As you see, we'll set this one. We'll just take this. Remove that. And we're going to set my email for my admin account for this one. And if we go in here now, now if I set a reset password, so let's say I want to reset my account for my admin account, so I click on forgot password, and I type in, it should, so meta reset, no, it should set the pin code. Okay, so once you have JFA-Go, there's 3 ways to reset your password. One is going to be through Jellyfin. It'll send you your PIN. One will be through JFA-Go. The other will be through a PIN, like a link. So if I click forgot password, and let's say I type in demo user, or not demo user, if I type in my admin user, and I click submit, and I click got it. Now if we check our email, we'll see we have a password reset. So we'll click on that. It'll take us here, and we can type our new password. So I'm just gonna make mine the same, but you can make it whatever you want, and click reset. It's gonna say unknown error because I already have mine the same, but once you do that, it should reset your password. I'll type something different. Hold on, let me try this. Unknown error. Let's try that. Oh, because I sent another one. Here, we'll try this one. Try this again. We'll try it again. We'll type in the same password. There we go. That time it works. That it expired. And now our password reset. So now if we log in again, it takes our Jellyfin login, and we'll type in our username and type in our password. And we're back in. So it's as simple as that. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to go over anything in the future, any new tutorials, I'm more than willing to make some for you guys. If you guys want to see anything else in the future from here, let me know. That is basically how to reverse proxy your Jellyfin domain using JFA-Go, and how to also reset your password locally for JFA-Go. Thanks guys. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know if you guys have anything more in the future you want me to do. Have a great night.